Hello, dudes and dudettes. Dude here. I know we haven't been making any content lately, me and Reaper, and it's mainly because we got to a point in our lives and with our current, tech and PC setup that we just we're not really able to make content anymore. Unfortunately, we stopped making content right in the middle of our Hogwarts Legacy Let's Play series. My desktop kind of stopped being able to handle the load of recording videos and streaming, and I don't have the time or the money to be paying for and using editing software very often anymore, with how my life is kind of the direction that my life and career are kind of going. But I did want to make a little bit of an update video because we did indeed get something very special. Ooh, I wonder what's in the bag. I'm recording this the day after my 32nd birthday. It's October 17th. And on October 16th, yesterday, Nintendo released Pokemon Legends ZA Nintendo Switch 2 bundles. And so we were able to pay it off over time before its release and pre-order it, thankfully. And so I got myself a Legends ZA Switch 2 bundle for my 32nd birthday. We're going to do a little bit of an unboxing and setup. And I'm going to kind of pause intermittently here to do what I need to do. All right, so the bottom tab kind of opens up pretty easily there. And this just kind of, can gently lift this up. That just kind of opens up there. Looks like this is the dock. This is the adapter plug. And this is either a USB-C charging device or it's the power cord. Then we got the Joy-Con 2. Looks like we got the Joy-Con 2 grip there. And there's the screen itself. Originally, I had, and these are the Joy-Con 2s. They're magnetic instead of a rail lock, so they're secure more easily and more firmly with the handheld and the Joy-Con 2 grip. Originally, I was not a very big supporter of the Switch 2, I have to say. And so just because of the way that they marketed the Switch 2 and how they built it up, I originally did not have very many positive things to say about the Switch 2, especially after having my Switch OLED, me and my family having our Switch OLED for about a year, and us being pretty satisfied with that. Unfortunately, the timing of when we got our Switch OLED was a little bit poor timing because we got the Switch OLED at the end of the Switch 1's life cycle, pretty much. But it wasn't until I got my hands on a Switch 2 demo to try it out and play it a little bit in stores. When I tried it with the new Joy-Cons and the Pro Controller 2s and tried it in handheld mode, it was then that I realized, after having played so much on the Switch 1 OLED, that the size difference and the graphical difference by comparison was significantly better, and it did make an impression on me. Plus, somebody at my local Best Buy was pretty convincing in his recommendations and his advice about his personal hands-on experience with his Switch 2. He's like, I'm able to play all my Switch 1 games on here. They look significantly better. They run significantly better. The size difference is comparable. It is a pretty big difference. It doesn't seem like it is, but once you get a Switch 2 in your hands compared to the Switch 1, it is a considerably noticeable and I guess pleasing difference. So what I got to do is I got to get this thing set up on my TV so that way I can do the data transfer from my Switch OLED to the Switch 2. So I'm going to go ahead and pause while I take care of that and get that set up. Alright, so this is what the Switch 2 handheld looks like with the new magnetic locking Joy-Con 2s in it. I'm about to put this thing on the dock, turn my TV on, and start the data transfer from my Switch 1 to my Switch 2. This is what the dock looks like. So it turns out the USB-C to USB-C cord is the power cord. It just plugs into that power adapter and goes into the back of the console. So it is a USB-C to USB-C cord that functions as the power cord. There's also, it comes with a high-speed HDMI cable. If you already have one, then you don't really need to use it. There is also a LAN port in the back of this dock for you to be able to connect to an internet router. So I'm assuming that the Switch 2 dock has Wi-Fi capabilities, as well as the handheld, because the Switch 1 does as well. So here comes the data transfer step. All right, everyone. So I've already set up my Switch OLED 1 to where all my data, game data, and save data is where it needs to be on the console. And it's fully up to date. And so now I have to set up my Switch 2 since I powered it on for the first time. It looks like it's having you set it up in handheld mode and not in docked mode from the very beginning. So we're going to go ahead and select English US, the Americas. We're just going to go ahead and accept that. It's got some soothing little music like Nintendo likes to do for their UI. Internet settings. I'm going to go ahead and pause this so I can set this up. Alright, so it's set up the Wi-Fi. It's looking like it's about to download an update data, so I can continue setting up the system while the update downloads. Okay, so my time zone. I'm going to go ahead and set this up while I pause the video. I am Chicago Central Time. Go ahead and set that up. With Nintendo Switch 2, you can play games wherever you want. Yes, I get it. The stand, yes, it's just telling you how to use the console. Change playstyle, detach the right Joy-Con too, so detaching the right one. Oh, there we go. And I got to detach the left one now. So it's just kind of having you remove the magnetic Joy-Con 2 so you can, see how they work, see how they plug in and they remove. It does, so this is the removal button. This is the trigger right here to remove the magnetic Joy-Cons from the handheld screen, and it does take a little bit of pressure to pull these triggers fully in so that way the magnet detaches. So just keep that in mind. View attachment guide. I can probably always view that later. We're going to go ahead and skip that for now. Choose a style. You can change it at any time. Ready to update system. There we go. So it looks like that's updating first before I can do the data transfer. Okay. Now we are in the system start system transfer step. So it is highly recommended, and based on other videos that I've watched on YouTube, when you are setting up your new Switch 2, it is highly recommended that you obviously set up your Switch 1 to make sure that all your game data and save data is exactly where you want it in one spot on your Switch 1. So that way your Switch 1 is primed and ready to transfer all of your game and save data to your Switch 2. Now when you first set up a Switch 2, it's highly recommended that you, right out of the box, do the included system transfer step on the Switch 2, because this is going to transfer everything smoothly and in one shot from your Switch 1 to your Switch 2. I've heard stories of people that try to do it later through an SD card and they end up getting corrupted game data or corrupted save data, or they just lose all their save data altogether. because you can set up your new SD card with your Switch 2 and all that other stuff at a later point. So it's highly recommended that you do the normal system data transfer right out of the gate, right out of the box. So we're going to go ahead and select that. I don't know. I don't have a micro SDEX card yet, so I'm going to have to insert one later. There is 256 gigs of onboard storage on the Switch 2 anyway, so I don't have to worry too much about that. We're going to skip that for now. I got to sign into my Nintendo network. I want to pause the video real quick. Alright, I successfully signed into my Nintendo account. So you can do that one of two ways. You can either, there'll be a QR code that you can use your phone camera to use the QR code to sign into your account that way on the Switch 2 during the setup step and the transfer step, or you can just sign in manually if you know your login credentials. I did it that way since I'm recording this video. Next, we are about to transfer the data. So you have to get the two consoles in handheld mode physically close to each other. Move the system and the source system closer together to transfer data. They're right on top of each other. You can see the screen size difference. Gonna hit next. Connect an AC adapter to start download data. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to move this USB-C cord that's charging my third-party controller to connect it to here, so that way we can start. Alright, so it turns out that you need to connect the official Switch 2 power adapter into one of the USB-C ports, top or bottom, to the Switch 2 console in order to move on from that step. So keep that in mind. Alright, so bring the systems close together. That's pretty much done. I could actually set this off to the side here instead of on top. So we'll move this over here. And now, bring the systems close together. Done. And now I have to, on the home console, open the home menu, settings, select system transfer to Nintendo Switch 2. So now on my Switch 1 console, I'm going to go to my system settings, go to transfer system transfer to Nintendo Switch 2. Next. It says you can keep playing compatible Nintendo Switch software on the Switch 2 system. Yes, we know. It's just some Nintendo Switch games may not be supported or fully compatible with Switch 2. This is a little bit of a misnomer because you can pretty much play anything that you have for Switch 1 on Switch 2. Yep, it's ready. Alright, so save data for the following software will be removed from the system and transferred to the Switch 2. So all of my save data for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, Shining Pearl, Legends Arceus, Shield, and the Metroid demo. So this is all of your non-cloud save data. If you have save data, backed up in the Nintendo Cloud service, if you're a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber, you should be able to log into your account on Switch 2 and download your cloud save data from there once you're logged into your account on your Switch 2. This is just all my non-cloud save data backup. All save data that's stored locally for these games that I have on my Switch 1. That's the save data that's going to be directly transferred over in this system data transfer step. So we're going to go ahead and click Next. Connect an AC adapter before starting the system transfer process. So I also have to connect my Switch 1 power adapter to my Switch 1 in order to complete this step. Alright, now that I connected my Switch 1 power adapter to the handheld Switch 1, it's ready to start transferring all my user, game, and save data from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2. So now all I gotta do is take the Joy-Con 2 and start download on the Switch 2. Alright, sending save data. And now this is sending stuff over to the Switch 2. It's at 1% right now. Seems to be moving relatively fast. Dang, jumped to 12%. Holy crap. because I have a lot of physical game cartridges for my Switch 1, if it doesn't end up transferring all of my actual game data that's on my Switch 1 to my Switch 2, what I might end up having to do is I might end up having to just manually insert all my game cartridges one at a time to download the Switch 2, whatever Switch 2 versions are available, and to download those game data from those cartridges physically on the Switch 2. So that's probably what I'll end up having to do. All of my other save data that's backed up in the Nintendo save data cloud, I'll have to log into my account on the Switch 2 and download that cloud save data from the cloud on my Switch 2. So I'll probably do that, and I'll try to showcase how that's done as well in this video if possible. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it while it completes. Actually, it's almost done. I'll probably just let it roll out. Hold on. That was pretty quick. I guess if you have any digital Switch 1 games downloaded on your Switch 1, then it'll transfer the digital game data. But if you have a lot of physical game cartridges, you probably have to insert them one at a time on the Switch 2 to install the actual game data. And I prefer to have physical game cartridges, if I'm being perfectly honest. So it looked like it finished once, but then it's trying to finish a little bit after it restarted here. Hold on a second. All right, setting up the system. Data has been sent. Please wait until the process is complete on the Switch 2. So before I hit OK on the Switch 1, I'm going to make sure that this finishes everything that it needs to on the Switch 2. I am going to go ahead and reconnect the Joy-Con 2s to this as well. And voila! System transfer complete. Downloadable software will be re-downloaded later. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK on the Switch 2. The theme color from the source system will be carried over. Setup complete. Press the home menu button. Oh, dang, look at that. It did carry over my games. It did carry over the physical game data from all of my other physical game cartridges. So, yeah, I got a lot of games. As you can tell, obviously, I didn't get the Mario Kart World version. I got the Legend ZA version, so I'm going to have to find the download code or whatever is included so that way I can download that later. But I got Mario Kart 8 downloading right now. That was a digital inclusion for my Switch OLED. I got Mario Party Superstars, Legends Arceus, my son's Bluey video game, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 bundle. Got that just a week or two before the launch of this. And then Breath of the Wild Switch 2 version should download for free because I have an NSO, Smash Ult, Pokemon Home, Sonic Mania, Sonic Team Racing, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and a ton of other physical games that are downloading. I guess the physical game... Oh, you know what? The physical game data... Oh, never mind. You know what? Because I have these physical cartridges, it's just transferring the game data that's installed already over to here. Because the physical game data is stored on those cartridges. I'm an idiot. But the Switch 2 version of Breath of the Wild is going to have to download for sure. And I'm sure the Switch 2 version of Smash Ult and Pokemon Home are going to have to download as well. But that's it. That is the setup for the Switch 2. I can't wait to start playing games on this. With me and my family. We're going to go ahead and hit OK over on the Switch 1. Data has been sent. And now all of the save data that was on here for these games is now over here on Switch 2. And then eventually what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go into my cloud save data and download the remaining save data for my other games onto the Switch too, so that way I don't lose my save data. And that's all she wrote, folks. So that's been the unboxing and setup of the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm going to download Legends ZA later, and I'm going to download all my cloud save data. Can I speak? So I hope you guys enjoy this little update video and this unboxing and setup. I'm excited to start playing this. Reaper and I are basically just playing games for our own amusement now. I don't know if we'll make any content for our channel in the future. If we do, it's probably going to be after, long after we have a house and we're set up a little bit better in life. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you guys liked the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you like our videos and want to see, want to watch more of them if you want. We may or may not end up uploading videos again in the future. I don't know. In the meantime, we do have a bunch of different Let's Plays up on our channel if you want to go and watch and enjoy those. Thanks for watching. Stay classy. We'll see you all out there in the next one.